Will anyone be able to ever stop Mamelodi Sundowns? 8 league titles in a row. And the first thing that fans of the opposition teams will say is, no, but Sundowns are getting billions and millions and they're having investments. But also at the same time, there are players that they get that are not costing Boma 50, Boma 60 millions. Like I can make an example with Ikram Renas. Ikram Renas was reportedly signed for 10 million rands, 11 million rands, around there. Pirates could have afforded that. Chiefs could have afforded that, but they did not spend that money. And Ikram Renas went there and he scored 14 goals. If you ask me, if that 11 million was spent on Ikram Renas by a team like Kaizer Chiefs, they probably would have gotten many more goals, right? So it's not just about money, but it's also profiling. And also one other thing, being very quick and being decisive when they have to get players. But I want us to talk about the other things that I look at Sundowns and look at them and say, wow, actually, this is contributing massively to their success. And the first one is obviously they have quantity in quality, right? Or quantity of quality, something like that. Like they have a lot of quality. That's the simplest thing. Like they have so many good players. They can take out this 11 and then bring on another 11 and you won't see a difference. Like right now, Utiwani is not at the level of Motiba, but he's still quality. And that's a player from development. You have Divine Lunga, quality. They have Terence Mashego, quality. We're just talking about left backs. We have Kaizer Chiefs on the other side who were playing, who had Cross, Mashiane, Dove. But if you look at the quality difference and even the quality of those players compared to the Sundowns ones, you can clearly see that the difference is there for all to see. Pirates had to play Dion Hoto at left back position this season because Mark was out injured and Umayela is not really giving them that thing. So it's announced because they are constantly competing in the CAF Champions League. They have to constantly get these players because, you know, they are playing games every 3 days. So the amount of quality that they have. You look at the top assists, it's Sundowns. You look at the top goal scorers, the top 3. The first one, 16 goals, Repero. 14 goals, Reyners. 8 goals, Sales. And those Sales was being mocked when he arrived. And I said to people, I think there was a video that I was analyzing when they played Marcus in the final. I said that guy is good quality, but people were like, he's useless. Scored 8 goals. He's a good player. Me personally, I think that except the strikers that he plays with in his team, he's the best of the rest of the strikers because Usales is good. He's good on the ball, but he also knows he has the correct technique of finishing. And I think next season we'll start seeing more and more of him because this was his first season and was slowly getting integrated into the team. Before we go to the next point, by the way, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel because another thing that I'm thinking, you look at their squad, you have Abo Ronwen Williams, you have Abo Mdao, you have Abo Mrena. These players are not just playing for Sundowns in the CAF Champions League, but they're also representing the national team. Like they are playing for Bafana. All of these guys, Abo Ronan Williams, captain of Bafana, Abo Taves in midfield. You have Abo Shalulile as well playing for their home team in Namibia, right? So everyone there has international experience and they are very much capable. And another thing, Sundowns has a bigger fish to fry, right? They are trying to win the Champions League. So playing the league almost feels like a smaller nyana thing. So they have to do it. Like it's almost like a formality. We have to win the league. And they do it. Because, you know, me, I'm a Chiefs fan, right? And one of the biggest problem I have is the fact that you watch Chiefs play in the Nedbank Cup, excellent. And then you watch them play in the league, poor. They play against Sundowns, they give it their all. They play against the smaller teams, they play horrible. But the mentality of Mamelodi Sundowns doesn't change. They are playing Chippa United, they go all out. They are playing Chiefs, they go all out. So there's never a big or small game to them. It always seems like we're giving our best regardless of what kind of match we're playing. And then, as I said, my team will play good against bigger teams or in serious games, but then in the ones that are not that serious, or that they perceive or are perceived as not serious, then they drop their guard and then they end up losing games. Which brings us to the next point, the vicious approach, especially from this year. You know, Sundowns have Mangoba Mneti. He's sitting on top of the log, but they are not happy about his performance in the Champions League. They fire him. Like, I think it's the thing of mentality that I was talking about. Since they know that they have big fish to fry, they are doing so well in the league, but they're underperforming in the Champions League, which is the fish that they are trying to fry. So now, if you are not performing in the thing that you are trying to win the most, then you get fired. Like Gavin Hunt said that when he was at Kaizer Chiefs, he got fired because he was too focused on the CAF Champions League. He saw that he could win it, but Chiefs were like, we want you to perform on the league. And then they fired him. And he was going to get them a star, but they fired him. So different mentalities. Some people are looking at Champions League is bigger than the league. Champions League is bigger than making top 8. Same approach that was done by Sundowns. We don't care that you're number 1 on the league. You are not doing well in the Champions League, which is a bigger competition, which is more prestigious. As such, we're going to fire you on the spot. And they did. And with Rulani Mkwena as well, there were rumors that there were disagreements with regards to the performance of the team in those things. And because of that, they then ended up just firing 2 coaches within a space of 4 months. And then Cardoso comes in, fits like a glove. And here is why. Number 1, the structure of Mamelodi Sundowns. It's actually 3. And I'm not talking about the tactical structure and how they approach games and how they play, but they have Fleming Beck or whatever his name is. I'm so sorry. Fleming. Yeah. I'm sorry. The sporting director just forgot his name. Slipped my mind right now. So Fleming Beck. I am pretty sure it's Fleming Beck. Fleming Beck. Yeah, I'm correct. Is it? I'm correct. Yes. Fleming Beck. So Fleming Beck, their sporting director. If you don't know, I'm talking about. He is one vicious man who makes sure that things are run a certain way, and he's vicious. I think indaba yakhe ukuthi structure of the team must be like this, goes hand in hand with who should be recruited then to the team, because if they are recruiting the wrong people into the team, then they're going to have problems. So he's running all of these things behind the scenes and is making sure that the structure of Sundowns overall stays the same, and it's been staying the same. And you can see Pitso Msimane left a team that was functional, that was playing the ball, and that was countable. Where's Rulani no Mangoba? Where's Rulani no Steve? However many times they've changed the coaches and the co-coaches. But the point is, whichever coach comes to Sundowns, they will find the same philosophy. If philosophy should not be set by a coach, and that's the case with Sundowns, philosophy should be set by a club. And if the club has a clear playing philosophy, then it's easy for any coach to come in and know that the expectation, in fact, during the interview process, while the club is looking at candidates they can get, they're not going to go get, like Sundowns will never be signing Ernst Middendorp. You will not hear Sundowns going after Stuart Baxter. Why? Because those are coaches who do not fit the philosophy of Mamelodi Sundowns. So then you find problems. I use my Timmy Chiefs because I've complained about this many times. You find Chiefs finding a coach who plays scope and donor. But Chiefs has to play beautiful football and all of those things, and they win. But then they end up focusing on who can win for us. Then they get to Middendorp. But over a long term, that's not going to help you. Like we have Stuart Baxter won back-to-back leagues for the Chiefs. But how? At times he was playing a 6-3-1, making sure that he scores 1 goal and he wins. And now someone could say, but he won the league. The rest of the coaches after him didn't win the league. But then at what cost? Because those 2 years of him dominating the league messed up the next 10 years, because his thing could not be replicated by the next coach. When Kompela comes in, he's now trying to get the team to play. But the team is now stuck on that mentality. Tina will defend. They bring Usolinas to try and do the same. And then they see what these players who are trying to develop philosophies of playing the ball are not working at Chiefs. They go back to Middendorp. They go to Hunt. They go to Baxter. You see. And then again, they're like, let's try Zwan. He's going to play. And then after that, they go back again to Nsegi, who doesn't do none of that. They go to Johnson. And then let's get Nabi. Now they get Nabi. Now he has to implement his structure of let's play. And now the team is struggling. It's up and down because the philosophy of the coaches that they're hiring is not in line with the philosophy that the club is known for. Sundowns are doing that excellently, and that's why they continue to dominate this league. But I have to say, I'm not happy with Sundowns fans. I think Mamelodi Sundowns has fans. There are not as many as Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates is, but I think they are not appreciating their team enough. Bazongiphikisa kuma comments, but if my team was lifting a league, an 8th league title in a row, I will be at the stadium. I don't understand how they can't fill that stadium on a day whereby they are lifting the league. Sorry. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye. And I will try to be more consistent on this channel. I am so sorry. Have a lot.